You booked Hawaii for spring break, and now you're panicking, aren't you? You've got the flights, you've reserved a hotel, and now you're Googling things at 11 p.m. like what to do in Hawaii with kids and how much does everything in Hawaii actually cost? Because you're realizing you have no idea how to fill 7 days without either boring your kids to death or spending your entire life savings. I've been there. I get it. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what spring break in Hawaii actually looks like. Not the Instagram version, the real version, so you can stop panicking and start planning. Let me start with the reality check nobody wants to give you. Spring break is one of the busiest times in Hawaii. Not quite peak like Christmas or summer, but you're definitely not going to have beaches to yourselves. But here's the good news. It's honestly one of the best times weather-wise. March and early April hit that sweet spot where you've got warm, sunny days without that intense summer heat. And if you're there in March, you're still in prime whale watching season, which is incredible. Now, the part that catches people off guard. Spring break pricing. Hotels that might be $350 to $400 a night in February can easily jump to $500 to $600 plus during spring break weeks, especially on Maui. And that's before you add resort fees, which run $40 to $60 plus per night, and the 18% hotel tax. So that $500 room, you're actually paying closer to $630 a night all in. If you haven't booked activities yet and you're listening to this in mid-February, you need to get on that this week. Popular snorkel tours to places like Molokini booked solid weeks out. Good luau's, same thing. Don't wait. Here's something that actually works in your favor, though. Not everyone has the same spring break week. Some school districts break in early March, others mid-March, and some not until early April. In 2026, the week before Easter, that's April 13th through 19th, since Easter is April 20th, is going to be absolutely slammed. But because spring breaks are spread throughout March and early April, you're not dealing with everyone descending at once. Just know that pretty much all of March is busier than usual. All right, choosing your island, spring break edition. Okay, if you've already booked, skip ahead. But if you're still deciding, here's how I think about it specifically for spring break. Maui is where most families go for spring break, which means it's crowded, but also means it has the infrastructure to handle families. The beaches in Wailea and Ka'anapali are set up for it. Lifeguards, facilities, calm water. The downside? You're paying premium prices for everything, and you'll be shoulder to shoulder with other families at Molokai. But if this is your first Hawaii trip, Maui makes it easy. Oahu is my pick if you've got kids with different interests or energy levels. Waikiki gives you easy beach access, tons of food options, and activities within walking distance. But here's the spring break advantage. You can escape the crowds. North Shore beaches are way less packed, and East Side is quieter, and you've got indoor backup plans like the aquarium or Bishop Museum, if the weather turns. Plus, Uber and Lyft actually work here if you want to skip the rental car hassle for the day. The Big Island is a move if you want to avoid the spring break scene entirely. It's the least crowded during this time, but understand what you're signing up for. A lot of driving. Kona to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is 2 or more hours. If you've got kids who hate car time, this might not be your island. But if they're good in the car and you want space, this is it. During spring break timing is tricky because you're still on the tail end of rainy season. Trails can be muddy, weather can be unpredictable. If hiking is your whole reason for going to Kauai, maybe push this trip to summer. But if you're flexible and just want gorgeous beaches with fewer crowds than Maui, it can be great. Before we go any further, rental cars. If you haven't booked one yet, do it soon. Spring break pricing runs $80 to $100 plus per day, sometimes way more depending on the island and what you're renting. Book it when you book your hotel, not when you arrive. And here's something nobody tells you. You're also paying for parking everywhere. Hotels charge $30 to $40 per night for parking. Beach parking lots charge $5 to $10. It adds up fast. Okay, we need to talk about food because this is where families either save money or blow through their budget without realizing it. Here's what you need to know. Restaurant meals in Hawaii are expensive. I mean, $15 to $20 for a kid's meal at a sit-down restaurant, $25 to $40 for adult entrees before drinks. A family dinner out is easily $150 to $200. Do that every night for a week, that's over $1,000 just on dinner. So here's what actually works. On your way to the hotel from the airport, stop at a grocery store. Safeway, Foodland, Target, whatever's on the route. Buy breakfast stuff. Like bagels, cream cheese, fruit, yogurt, granola bars, juice boxes, whatever you like. Breakfast in your room saves you $60 to $80 every morning. That's $500 or more over a week. Lunch is where you have options. Some days you pack sandwiches and snacks and eat at the beach. Some days you hit a food truck or a casual spot. Plate lunch places are everywhere and run $12 to $15 per person. L&L, Hawaiian foods, local spots. Way cheaper than sit-down restaurants. Then pick 2 to 3 nice dinners for the whole week and do easy dinners the other nights. I mean, like rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, pre-made poke bowls, pizza. Nobody's going to remember that you didn't eat at a fancy restaurant every night, but you'll remember not stressing about money. And here's the thing about spring break specifically. Restaurants are packed. You're waiting an hour for a table at 6 p.m. So honestly, avoiding the dinner rush by doing a beach picnic or an early or late dinner makes your life way easier. All right, let me walk you through what a real day looks like because I think people underestimate how long everything takes. Let's say it's a Tuesday, you're on Maui, you've booked a morning snorkel tour to Molokini. At 6 a.m., your alarm goes off. Everyone's grumpy because you're on vacation. Why are we waking up early? But the tour leaves at 7:30 and you need to check in at 7. 6:45 a.m., you're in the car with sleepy kids, grabbing the sunscreen you forgot and driving to Ma'alea Harbor. It's a 20-minute drive from Wailea. 7 a.m., check in, use the bathroom, get everyone situated. The kids are starting to wake up now. 7:30 a.m., the boat leaves. It's about 45 minutes to Molokini. 8:15 a.m., you're at Molokini. You snorkel for about an hour. It's amazing. The kids see fish, maybe a turtle. Everyone's happy. 9:30 a.m., back on the boat, heading to the second snorkel spot or back to the harbor. They serve lunch on the boat. 11:30 a.m., you're back at the harbor. Everyone's tired, salty, hungry, even though you just ate. It's already pushing noon. 12 p.m., back at the hotel. Everyone needs to shower. The kids are cranky. There's sand everywhere. This takes longer than you think. 1:30 p.m., everyone's finally showered, changed, and ready to what? Do another activity? No, everyone's exhausted. You go to the pool. The kids swim for 2 hours. You sit there grateful for the downtime. 4 o'clock, head to the beach for a bit before sunset. 5:30 p.m., back to the room, another round of showers because same. 6:30 p.m., dinner. Either you're eating that chicken and rice you bought at the grocery store or you're going out and waiting for a table. 8 p.m., kids are in bed. They're wiped out. So are you. So see what I mean? That one morning activity ate up your whole day. This is why I say don't overschedule. You think you can do a morning tour and an afternoon hike? You can't. Not with kids. Not with everyone melting down. So what are the activities that actually work for spring break? Let me talk about what's actually worth your time and money. Snorkeling. This is the thing to do. The water's warm, no wetsuit needed, and the kids love it. Molokini on Maui is the big one, but honestly, it's a production. It's expensive, like $165 to $200 or more per adult. Early morning, long day. If you've got younger kids who might get seasick or bored on the boat, consider easier options. Ahihi Kinau on Maui is great for older kids who can handle rockier entry. Hanauma Bay on Oahu is perfect for beginners, but get there right when they open. 6:45 a.m. check-in online, or it's a zoo. Whale watching. March is prime time. By late March, numbers jump off as whales start heading back to Alaska. And if your spring break is in April, you might see a few mother calf pairs, but not the peak action. So here's my take. You don't need a dedicated whale watching tour. Just keep your eyes on the water. We've seen whales from restaurants, from the beach, from the hotel balcony. Save the money for something else unless you really want that up-close experience. Luau's. Okay, real talk. They're expensive, like $180 to $230 per adult. Kids, maybe $120 to $150. So for a family of 4, you're looking at $600 to $800. Is it worth it? If you've never done one and your kids are old enough to appreciate it, like maybe they're 7 or older, then yes, do it once. Old Lahaina Luau on Maui is the best, but books out months ahead. If you can't get that, the Grand Hyatt Kauai is really good, but if money's tight, skip it. Your kids will be just as happy with the beach, sunset, and shave ice. Beaches. Here's where you'll actually want to spend your time, but spring break means you need a strategy. Popular beaches like Wailea, Poipu, Hapuna, get there by 9 a.m. or you won't find parking or a good spot. Or do what smart people do. Go late afternoon, like 3 to 6 p.m. Everyone else is leaving, you're arriving, and you get sunset. Here are my favorite spring break beaches for families. On Maui, there's Wailea Beach, which is calmer than Ka'anapali and has better facilities. Kamauli Beach Parks in Kihei have free parking, lifeguards, and this is where the locals go. On Oahu, Lani Kai, it's stunning but tricky parking. Kailua Beach, easier parking and is better for families. And Waikiki, yes, it's touristy, but it's easy and safe. On the Big Island, Hapuna. It's big, beautiful, but can have shore break. And Mauna Kea Beach, which is smaller and calmer. And on Kauai, there's Poipu Beach Park, which has lifeguards and a protected pool area for little kids. And Hanalei Bay. It's gorgeous, but it can be rough in spring. For hiking, Diamond Head on Oahu gets mobbed during spring break. If you're doing it, be there right when it opens at 6 a.m. Otherwise, look at Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail on Oahu, paved, easy, and great for kids, or the Wailea Coastal Walk on Maui. It's not technically a hike, but it's beautiful and easier. Here's what I'd skip: anything that requires a lottery system or super early booking. Your trip is stressful enough without trying to coordinate that. Also, skip long driving tours if you've got little kids. The road to Hana sounds romantic, but with young kids, it's just a long day in the car with bathroom emergencies. Surf lessons. These are great and can run $80 to $150 per person depending on the group size. Book something in calmer water like Waikiki or South Maui. Skip North Shore in spring unless your kids are strong swimmers and you're booking with pros. Let's talk about the real age range challenge. This deserves more than a quick mention because if you've got kids of different ages, you basically have 2 different vacations happening at once. Let's say you've got a 5-year-old and a 13-year-old. The 5-year-old wants to build sandcastles and play in the baby waves. The 13-year-old wants to snorkel and is bored by the baby beach. What do? So option 1, you split up. One parent takes the teen snorkeling or on a harder hike while the other does beach and pool time with the younger kid. Then you swap the next day. This works, but it means you're not doing much as a full family. Option 2, you find activities with different levels. A catamaran snorkel tour where the little one can just ride the boat and play in the shallow water while the teen actually snorkels. A beach where there's both calm water and better waves. The pool with a splash pad and a deeper section. Or option number 3, you let the teen have some independence. They can hang at the hotel pool while you're at the beach with the little one. They can order room service and watch movies while you do the bedtime routine with the younger kid. Teens actually love this. They feel trusted and get a break from family togetherness. The mistake I see families make is trying to force everyone to do everything together every moment. This makes everyone miserable. The 5-year-old is pushed beyond their limits, the teen is bored, and you're stressed trying to manage both. So here's what actually works better. Plan some family activities everyone can do. Beach time, easier snorkeling, luau if you're doing one. But also build in separate time. One parent does an adventure with the older kid while the other hangs back. Or hire a babysitter for an evening through the hotel so you and your teen can do a nicer dinner. It's okay. And if you've got a teenager who's truly miserable about a family vacation, give them something to look forward to. A surf lesson, a snorkel tour, something that feels more grown up. Don't make the whole trip about the little kids. All right, let's talk about the rain because spring break means you might hit some, especially if you're on the windward, which is the east side of any island. Here's what doesn't work. Trying to do your planned beach day in the rain when everyone's cold and miserable. Just pivot. Indoor options that are actually good include Maui Ocean Center. It's an aquarium. And this is legitimately cool and takes about 2 to 3 hours, and kids love it, interested in Hawaiian history and culture. There's Volcano House museums on the Big Island. You can combine this with driving through Hawaii Volcanoes National Park in the rain, which is honestly kind of awesome. Movie theater, yes, really. Sometimes you just need to kill an afternoon indoors, and that's okay. And shopping. Ala Moana Center on Oahu is huge and has everything, including an amazing food court. Or honestly, just hang at the hotel. Even the pool. Use the pool even if it's drizzling. The water's warm, you're wet anyway. Play cards, watch movies in bed, order room service. Some of my best vacation memories are the downtime days, not the packed activity days. Okay, la budget reality. Let's talk real numbers. I'm going to be really specific here because I think people underestimate costs and then stress their whole trip. So here's what a week in Hawaii for a family of 4 actually costs you beyond your hotel and flights. The rental car is $80 to $100 a day for 7 days is about $560 to $700. Parking at $30 to $40 a night for hotel plus $5 to $10 a day at beaches is $250 to $300. Groceries, meaning breakfast supplies, snacks, easy dinners, $300 to $400. Restaurants for 3 nice dinners and maybe some lunches, $600 to $800. One major activity, like a snorkel tour for 4, would be $700 to $900. Surf lessons for 2 kids in a group lesson is about $200 to $250. Gas, $100 to $150. Beach gear rentals like chairs, snorkel sets, boogie boards, $150 to $200. Random stuff like shave ice, souvenirs, forgotten sunscreen, $200 to $300. So your total is $3,000 to $4,000 for the week beyond your hotel and flight. And that's pretty conservative. If you're doing a luau, that's $600 to $800. Multiple big activities, eating out for most meals, you're looking at $5,000 to $6,000 easily. And I'm not sharing this to scare you. I'm sharing it so you can plan. Maybe you decide to skip the luau and put that money toward an extra snorkel trip. Maybe you do more grocery store dinners and fewer restaurant meals. But going in with real numbers means you're not shocked when your credit card bill arrives. So, what do most families get wrong? The biggest mistake is not building in transition time. You cannot do a morning activity and an afternoon activity with kids. Factor in drive time, getting everyone ready, bathroom breaks, meals, meltdowns. Every activity takes longer than you think. The second mistake, booking everything before you see how your family travels. Book your first 2 days and see how it goes, then book the rest. Some families are go, 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 others need more downtime. You won't know until you're there. The third mistake is underestimating jet lag and exhaustion. Don't book an evening tour the day after you arrive. Give yourself a day to adjust, and don't pack the last day before your evening flight. Everyone will be exhausted and grumpy. And the fourth mistake is not checking in with your kids during the trip. On day 3, ask them, what's been your favorite thing so far? What do you want to do more of? You might think that they love the snorkel tour, but really they just want more pool time, and then adjust accordingly. So here's the deal. Spring break in Hawaii with kids is a lot of logistics, a lot of money, and requires more planning than you probably expected. It's not a trip you can just show up for and figure it out. This is exactly why families book consultations with me, because trying to figure out all these moving parts, which island, which activities, how to manage different ages, where to stay, how to budget, what to skip, it's overwhelming, especially when you're also dealing with work, life, and everything else. In a consultation, we build an itinerary based on your actual family. Ask about your kids' ages, what they like, what your budget really is, how much driving you're willing to do, whether you're early risers or like to sleep in, and then we map out a plan that makes sense for you. Not, here's what Hawaii guidebooks say to do, not, here's a generic spring break itinerary, your specific family's specific trip. We talk through which activities to book when, which ones to skip, where to eat that won't blow your budget, how to handle different kid ages, backup plans for weather, all the stuff that would take you 10 hours of research, we knock it out in an hour. Most families tell me 2 things. 1, they saved way more time than they expected. 2, they saved money by not booking activities that wouldn't have been right for them. Paying for consultation feels like a lot upfront, but it often saves you hundreds by helping you make better choices. If you want help, head to hawaiitravelwithkids.com/Hawaii-travel-consultant. I do 60-minute consultations for comprehensive planning, or 30-minute consultations if you just need a few specific questions answered. And if you book through my travel partner, Kim, after our consultation, she waives her planning fees. Listen, you're going to have an amazing trip. Spring break in Hawaii is special. The weather's perfect, the water's warm, and your kids will remember it forever. But it takes planning. It takes realistic expectations. And it's okay to ask for help making that happen. Your kids are going to remember swimming with sea turtles, building sandcastles at sunset, eating shave ice with sticky hands, and jumping into the hotel pool over and over. They're not going to remember that you didn't do every single activity or that you ate grocery store chicken for dinner twice. They're going to remember that you were in Hawaii. They're going to remember that they were in Hawaii with you. So stop panicking, make a plan, and get excited. You've got this. I'll talk to you next week.